Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and we're going to do a quick little update on the Schroll Coupe. A lot of people have been asking what's going on with the car because we've been focusing on some other cars. This is a perfect example of why Steve is a savior. So Steve has been doing all the thankless work in the background, doing a bunch of stuff, and we wanted to show you guys kind of where we're at and some of the things we've done to the car to get it much closer to being roadworthy. So we worked on getting basically the generator and the belts and all that stuff sorted out. I made a bracket here that we've talked about before. We ended up just getting a replacement generator, a GM generator from our local Napa. They actually had it pretty much in stock within a day. The old one, the bearings were all junk in it, and I think it ended up being, with the core, like $100 for a new generator. So by the time you order the parts to do the work, it was basically about the same. So we got a new generator on there, got a belt on. We got that chrome fan that I modified and got on there. Our buddy John went through the old chrome carburetors, which are iffy, as typical with old chrome carbs. We're going to try and use them. Hopefully they will work for us. Got a fuel block and all that stuff mounted up. What we've done is we just have the stock distributor mounted up in the car for the time being because it had Patronics in it, and that's what it ran on before, so we figured we'd just stick with what's there. We also have a magneto, an old Mallory mini mag that we got redone by Mason Racing Ignitions, so we have that ready to go with cool old clear plug wires built, which we'll show you in a few, and we have the old Mallory Sun tack box. Is actually for a mag, so we have all the right parts all set up. We got a charging system, we've got our oil lines all run and our fuel lines all run in this. We have a gas pedal and old spoon pedal hooked up, but we haven't hooked up the progressive linkage yet because we want to try and get the thing to run. One of the biggest things is Steve got this wired, so I'm going to show off some of his hard work. So big thing is we were trying to get lights, and I didn't want to add stupid little turn signals that are like bullet lights or something weird down at the bottom. It always looks a little awkward. So what we ended up doing is we have our headlights here, and these are original lights that were on the car back in the 50s, 60s from the old photos. Steve wired it up so the turn signal is actually in the headlight. So the high beam is the turn signal. So even with the headlights on, you can see it blinking. Now it is a little faint, but so is a tiny little amber light that people hide down at the bottom. They're not much better. So pretty cool that it has that. It's got the Pontiac taillights working in the back, which will show you guys as well. I can see why they use Pontiac taillights because they look super cool.
Yeah.
So it's just a neat look in the back. These are the same ones that were literally on it when we found the car. Just went through and I think, Steve, we had to do the bulb holders and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to end up changing out the bulb holders and some of that stuff because they were crappy, and put some new bulbs and all that stuff in it. But it works, which is awesome. And then we can add our license plate when we're actually ready to take it on the road legally. We can put a license plate here and just tap off of that for our lights. So we got all that stuff working. And couple things we found out is the old gauges that we got, they actually came we found them inside the tackle box in the DeLorean Roadster when we found that car. So that's what these gauges are. The water temperature gauge, which we have to pull out, we actually tested and ended up not being good. So I have to send that away and get a new, get it recharged. It's a mechanical gauge, says like the gas in it. What else? I think we have to send a couple of the gauges we're going to end up having to send out to get them redone. But that's where we're kind of at with all this stuff. I'm trying to think of anything else we did.
You can show them the mini mag.
Oh yeah, here's the mini mag that we got. So we got that back, and Steve built some really cool, clear plug wires. So our buddy Pete had an old roll of clear plug wire that we ended up using. I found some vintage plug wire ends, the Raja or whatever you call them, plug ends. And so that's all like bitching and ready to set up in there. But we want to get this thing running, not a whiz at engine mechanical stuff. So we're still learning, and we fiddle with this stuff.
Start with the basics.
Start with the basics. So we got like I said, we got the distributor in there. So now we're going to test our luck, see if we can get this thing to make noise for the first time since, I don't know, the late 50s probably. We'll see. Hopefully we don't burn the shop to the ground. Ready? Here we go.
Give her some fuel. Give her a squirt.
All right.
You want to get the nurse tank?
Yeah, you probably should, because we're men on a mission. Go ahead. Oh, there it went.
Yep. Ready?
Yep.
Let it cool off. I'm starting to smell the starter.
Yep.
There. Ooh, good.
That's enough fuel, I think. That's enough fuel, I think.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. And a bunch of fuel in there.
That sounds like a hot rod.
Dude, that shot some flames.
Yeah, we had some fuel in it.
All right, I think we're ready for.
Ready for the tank?
I think so.
Good thing there's wood under the car. That shot a very big fireball.
It's fun. Yeah, it's not gonna start that dense piece of fuel.
Is that the same? Is that slip on there? You think?
Yeah, that's.
Ready?
All right, give it another shot.
Ready?
Yep.
Going.
Backfire through that carb.
I think it's just getting not getting enough fuel now to stay running.
Well, now I can start squirting it. I'm just trying to keep these carbs shut.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Whoa, Nelly.
All right, it's got fuel.
Okay, it ran. We got a fireball in our face.
But that was
Everybody
warm.
got their
That was warm. I felt that.
Yeah, that was a big ass fireball. Going. There we go. And now it's running on all of it. Maybe 6.
All right, so after typical with some surprises and excitement, we got this to run. As always, it's always an adventure to get this stuff. We just hooked up the one carb. We don't even have the vacuum advance hooked up in it. So we just wanted to make sure, can we get this engine to run? Because I got it from a friend who said it was a good engine, but you never really know. And before we built the run stand, we didn't have that we could do it, so we kind of put it in the car. In the future, with a lot of builds, we're going to start doing the run stand. We can get everything set up and try and be more efficient with it. So saw a little bit of trial and tribulations. We almost lost our eyebrows, but we still have them there intact. Just face got a little warmer. I'm sure plenty of people have had that happen before, so always exciting, but we got it to run. The exhaust sounded really cool. It was loading up, obviously. We didn't have like a lot of stuff set up correctly, but now that we know that the engine runs, sounded good, we have oil pressure, we can kind of continue forward to the next steps of just buttoning things up, running it on the gas tank with the key and the electric fuel pump, all that stuff, but we didn't want to go that far until we just did the basics and got it to run on this. So huge step with the Schroll Coupe. Now we just got to button up a few things. I got to do some radiator hoses. We're going to send those gauges away to get those redone. A couple other odds and ends, and we should be, hopefully by spring, ready to be taking this thing out and put some miles on it. So it's been really fun getting this thing going and seeing it evolve from what it was when we found it, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, this time just about, within the next couple months, is literally like 2 years since we've gotten this car. So it was forgotten away in a garage outside of York in dust and dirt and mouse poop, and now it is, you know, it looks so much different. It's really exciting that we got to hear this thing run for literally probably the first time since the 50s, because when Larry bought this car in like 62 or 63, I think it was from memory, it was already had no engine in it, so it hadn't run. He never got it to run, so I would guess it was probably the very early 60s or 50s since this car made any kind of noise. So huge improvement on what it looked like a couple years ago. So thank you guys for following along. Catch you later.